Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is again a video quite many of you have requested. I've gotten tweets and DMs from you telling me that you're gonna go to London this spring or later this year and you would like to hear my favorite places where to eat, where to go, my favorite sites, and just overall trips and my overall tips and tricks when it comes to the beautiful capital of England. I'm nowhere near a Londoner, I'm not a guru when it comes to London, but I am an England enthusiastic. I love England so much and I keep going there because of friends and because I just love the country so much. And I've been to London quite many times. It's not even my favorite city, but I just feel very homey there and it's a very beautiful, nice, lovely city and I think I have some things to say about it. So I hope this video is helpful and enjoyable. I hope you appreciate my beautiful London themed Starbucks mug. I bought this on my last trip. Today I'm drinking blackcurrant juice because my throat is sore. So let's do this. I think I'm gonna start with sites because a lot of people go to London for the sites. I've seen quite many of them, I've seen some of them many times, and I definitely have my favorites. So I'm gonna tell you my favorites, but also some others that I really enjoyed seeing. I think I might actually start with my favorites because these are the places that I love the most. So the first one is Hyde Park and Kensington Garden. Basically people talk about Hyde Park, so it's the massive park in the city's central, close to Oxford Street and like Paddington Station. This park is absolutely beautiful and it is the perfect place to go and to have a picnic, to just walk in and to breathe the fresh air, to see beautiful sights, because there in just Hyde Park there is beautiful sights to see. I think my favorite things in Hyde Park are the river Serpentine and a statue of Peter Pan. I think the Peter Pan statue is actually technically in Kensington Gardens. There's a very fine line where it's Hyde Park and where it's Kensington Gardens, and to be honest I don't really know the difference, but I love the Peter Pan statue in Kensington Gardens. It is small, it is really beautiful, and I think it's just very cute. And then there's a Serpentine, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's the river that you cannot miss if you walk like across the park. There is so many birds. There's swans and ducks and dogs running into the water and people taking those little boats in the water. It's a park where you can breathe and you can feel the fresh air and it's just very beautiful and lovely. I just love going there for picnics, for just walks, and to just enjoy the atmosphere. And also you can ride horses there. I have never done that, but there's horses. I kind of hate saying that I absolutely love this site, but I have a very specific place where to look at this site, which I love, and I think that's why it has made itself into my top 5. It is London Eye, and I know it's quite tacky, and I mean it's in every single picture that there is of London, but I think there's no site that I've seen in my life as pretty as when you're standing on one of the Golden Jubilee bridges and you're looking at London Eye and you can see the River Thames, you can see the bridge that goes over from like the side of London Eye to where Big Ben is. You can see Big Ben. It's gorgeous at night and I've walked over that bridge just looking at London Eye and just adoring it. The South Bank is like one of my favorite places in London. It is so alive, there's so many people. If you want to see London Eye from a place where it's not too crowded, yeah, if you want to do that and kind of be in a place where there's not as much people, go and stand on one of the Golden Jubilee bridges. Another quite obvious one that a lot of people love is Trafalgar Square. I just love it. It is beautiful and it is not very far away from like Big Ben and the Golden Jubilee bridges. Trafalgar Square is the place where the National Museum stands, and the museum is a gorgeous building, and then there's the very iconic lion statues. There is always a lot of people, so it's very busy, but it is beautiful. I love going there, and I always get pretty emotional when I'm in Trafalgar Square for some reason. This is absolutely one of my favorite places in London for at least 3 reasons. And now I'm talking about St. Paul's Cathedral and the Millennium Bridge. And why I'm saying these together, even though they're not the same thing and they're quite separate, let me tell you. If you know me, you know I'm a massive Taylor Swift fan. When Taylor released the Endgame music video, there was clips from London, and one of the clips where she is standing on a bridge, the Millennium Bridge, is beautiful. It's night, she's standing on the bridge, she is kind of like walking and dancing, and you can see the St. Paul's Cathedral in the background, and that is one of the most beautiful cathedrals I've ever seen. It's massive, it's just gorgeous, and the shot of Taylor walking on that bridge and just seeing the cathedral in the background is like, wow. That is a religious experience. And I got to live that experience. I got to walk on that bridge and I got to take pictures with the St. Paul's Cathedral in the background. It was just beautiful, and the cathedral itself is just gorgeous. I've never been inside, but it is beautiful. It is so wow. That bridge and the St. Paul's Cathedral are not close to London Eye or Big Ben or Oxford Street, but it is so worth going. I struggled with the last one because there are so many places in London that I really love, but I think I might have to say Covent Garden. The Covent Garden Market to be more specific, but because it's very beautiful, and also I have a very like strong connection to Covent Garden. My second very successful but not fully successful Disney audition was there. There is nice cafes, nice places to eat. I think Covent Garden is a very nice area and it is definitely worth visiting. And now I'm gonna talk about other sites that I think are worth seeing. A very British place that is very worth visiting is the Parliament Square, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, Big Ben, Westminster Abbey, now you know. So there's Big Ben and there's Westminster Abbey, the beautiful Gothic style cathedral church. It's a very beautiful place, and it was one of the first sites that I saw. Not very far from Parliament Square is the Buckingham Palace, and I think this is a place a lot of people go to see. There's always a lot of people around. It's not my favorite, definitely. I think it was actually quite overrated. There is a very lovely like statue. Is it a fountain? I mean, like this statue thing in the middle of the like car driving circle. What is it? I can't say car driving circle. Oh my god, what is it? Okay, I wasn't too far. I meant traffic circle. So there is a traffic circle, and in the middle of it there's like this beautiful tall statue thing. But I don't think Buckingham Palace is the best site. Another very nice place in London is the Piccadilly Circus, and there's like the big screens. Yeah, I like Piccadilly Circus, and I think it's a very nice area, especially during the night because there's so many lights. It's so vibrant. There's also a lot of very great, amazing theaters, like musical theaters, and also cinemas there, like around Piccadilly Circus area. Not very far from Piccadilly Circus is Carnaby. It's kind of like this hipster kind of area. Yeah, I think Carnaby is very famous among bloggers and Insta models and stuff. So if you like taking pretty pictures and being art fashionista, I think Carnaby is the place for you. Close to Carnaby there is one of my favorite places in London, which is Liberty. It's one of my favorite places because of Taylor Swift. But it's this very old beautiful building, and now it's like this very expensive, I don't like to say mall because it's not a mall, but it's like this store. It is just the site itself might actually be in my top 5. I don't know, it's one of my favorite places in London, and it's so beautiful. If you're close to like the Oxford Circus underground station, Liberty is very close to that. And then one of the most hipster crazy places in London is Camden Town. It takes a little effort to go here. It is crazy. I've never been anywhere like that. It can't be explained. It is just crazy. There's music and markets and colors. It's so like hipster and weird and cool. I will definitely go there again and just like explore. These next two places are quite far from the Oxford Street, Paddington Station and areas, but they are so worth visiting. I've actually never been in the London Eye, but I've been to one of these places, and one of my friends showed me this. She said that it's so much better than London Eye. Also, it's free, and this place is Tate Modern. Basically, Tate Modern is, I think, a museum. So there's like modern art. We actually never went to like the art sections. We just went on the elevator up to the top, and there you can just look around London. So it's a tower. We went there during the night because Tate Modern is pretty much next to the Millennium Bridge. This is a hidden gem and a fact that people don't know. Now you know, so when you go to London and if you want to see the St. Paul's Cathedral, maybe the Millennium Bridge, because it's also a bridge that is shown in the Harry Potter movies, so if you're a Potterhead, Millennium Bridge. So if you're around this area, Tate Modern is definitely worth it. For years I thought this site was closer to London Eye, but it is so freaking far away, and that is Tower Bridge. Oh damn, I walked for hours to get here. Tower Bridge is so far away from all the things that people usually want to see when they go to London, but it is so worth it. It is, oh wow. It is much bigger than I ever thought, and it's pretty breathtaking. I never went inside. I would love to, maybe next time, but just walking over it and just taking pictures and just looking at it was just an experience. Next up, food, because food is important, and when you're traveling and walking a lot, you need to eat. If you're new here, you might not know that I'm vegan, and that means that I search for vegan food when I'm in England and wherever I am. And I've written down 4 of my favorite places in London, and I just keep going back to these places. The first one I want to mention is my absolute favorite place to eat in London, and that is Deliciously Ella. You can get coffee and like treats, or you can go in the morning and get gorgeous breakfast, or during lunchtime and get just like delicious lunch. There's so many options, everything is healthy, and even if you're gluten-free, you have no problem. Is everything gluten-free in general? I think my favorite thing to eat here are the cakes or the soups that they have daily. Another delicious vegan place in London is By Chloe, and there is 2 By Chloe restaurants in London. One is in Covent Garden and one is very close to the Tower Bridge. Oh my yum. I have actually only eaten one thing here, and that has been the vegan fish and chips, because they are so delicious. Oh my god. I think I've also tried the espresso cookie, which was massive and chocolatey and just delicious. So yeah, I basically go between Deliciously Ella and By Chloe. But I also go to Itsu quite often, and it's a delicious Asian, kind of Japanese style chain restaurant. I love their rice bowls or rice pots. The vegan one is so dreamy, and it is like £6, so I don't think it's too expensive. It's so filling, and yeah, Itsu is a very great place. And if you have meat eaters with you, or if you're a meat eater, you can get like chicken and that kind of stuff there too. So this is not just a vegan place. There is a lot of Itsus around London, so you will always find one. And my last food recommendation is Mod Pizza. This is a place I found because of my friend. She told me about this place, which is so cheap, and I can make a vegan pizza. I think I've never eaten a pizza where the crust was almost better than the filling. The filling was delicious, don't get me wrong, but the crust was so good. They had vegan cheese, like dairy-free cheese, and I think they also had a gluten-free crust, so if you're gluten-free, you're good to go. The basic pizza, if you made one yourself, I think was £7.50. This place is located very near Piccadilly Circus. Mod Pizza is a golden gem that I will go back to for sure. Next thing is shopping, because a lot of people go to London because of the sights and shopping. To be honest, I don't shop a lot anymore. I don't know about you, but I don't like shopping new that much anymore. So I go and shop for recycled and reused, and I love it because I think going to charity shops and vintage shops is just so much more interesting, because you never know what you might find. Also, it might be cheaper. Often it is. It's just better for the environment, and that's what I've been thinking more when I've been shopping. So I love vintage and charity shops, and because London is a very central city with a lot of culture, there is fashion and so much of it, and there's a lot of fashionable people in the city, and you might find golden gems from those shops. I would highly recommend checking those out. I don't actually have a favorite in London, so I would just recommend googling charity shops or vintage shops in London. And then if we talk about shopping new, Oxford Street is a very obvious choice. It has a lot of different shops. There's so many. I can't even remember every single one. You can just walk down Oxford Street and find pretty much everything you need in life. Another place pretty close to Oxford Street where you can shop is Carnaby. Brandy Melville is located in Carnaby, and that is a shop where I could shop. It is a bit more expensive than Primark or Forever 21, but it is great. I think right now there's also a shop for Too Faced and Urban Decay. I think there is a lot of shops in Carnaby, so I would recommend checking that out. And if you want to go to a proper mall and not be on the very crowded Oxford Street, Westfield is a great option, and it is massive, and there is everything. There's a Primark, there's Debenhams, Topshop, there's so much. You will need a whole day if you want to go through the whole mall. Then I want to mention a few things you can do while you're in London, because sometimes just walking around the city and shopping and, you know, going to cafes and stuff can be a bit boring. Did you just hear me saying going to a cafe can be boring? We know I'm lying, but maybe for some of you it might be boring if you do it like 3 times a day. I already mentioned going to the Tate Modern to see the beautiful sight of London from up above. If you want to go to London Eye, yes, you can buy the very expensive ticket and go to London Eye, but you can also go to Tate Modern and kind of get the same experience for free. Another fun thing to do is Madame Tussauds. It is a very, very popular thing, and that is a wax figure museum. You can meet Britney Spears, Zoella, Elvis, Ed Sheeran, One Direction, the Queen, Obama, Marilyn Monroe, Audrey Hepburn, so many famous people, but not really because they're all made of wax, but they look so real. It's quite expensive, but I think it's a very fun thing to do. You can really spend quite a lot of time in there. We kind of ran through it because it was really crowded that day. It was a very rainy day, so a lot of people wanted to be inside. I would recommend going with a friend. I first thought I would go alone, but in the end, when I went with a friend, I was so grateful and so happy because taking pictures was so much easier with a friend. Musicals. There is amazing musicals running in London all the time, and I bet anyone and everyone can find something they would like to see. Some of them might be quite expensive, but it is so worth it. It's a very magical experience. I've actually never done this, but I would love to. The Harry Potter tours. Duh! So you can go and see the actual studios where they shot Harry Potter movies. Yeah, I will definitely do that at some point. The only thing is that it is booked and it's full months before. So if you want to go to the Harry Potter studios and have a tour there and see all the wigs and the costumes and how they made everything, book months in advance. Then just a couple of things I want to say. When I'm traveling, I am walking pretty much all the time. I do that because I want to get to know the places where I'm in. I want to get to know the cities and I want to understand them and how I get from this place to this place. So I walk. Yes, you could use the underground and the buses in London, and you definitely should at some point because it's iconic. But the underground and the buses are expensive, and that's why I would recommend using your feet. If you have a whole day for exploring and getting to know this beautiful city, why would you use the underground if you just can walk? I would just, yeah, walk. Yes, it takes time, yes, it takes energy, but you're there to travel and to see the city, and the best way to see it is using your feet. You're getting experiences and you're saving money. You might find things that you wouldn't find if you were using the underground or an Uber or a bus. But if you want to use the underground, I would recommend getting an Oyster card or maybe a day ticket for the underground. Like I said, it is expensive, so I kind of avoid using it a lot. Those are my London tricks, tips, and favorites. Of course, I'm gonna keep going to this beautiful city because, like I said, I have dreams that can be achieved in London and friends who I absolutely love. So I will probably keep exploring and finding new favorites, but these are my favorites so far. I hope you enjoyed them. If you still have some questions or if questions rose up while watching this video, you can tweet or Instagram me. My both accounts are at vilmabrownie, or you can ask your questions down below and we can have a conversation. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time and your effort, and I love you. I'll see you next Sunday. Bye!